A woman was assigned by a realtor to clean a particular property. Strangely, she found herself returning to this same house again and again. The realtor explained that tenants rarely lasted long. Most broke their lease and moved out shortly after moving in. But he never told her why. One night, after the most recent tenants had left, she was cleaning the house alone when something terrifying happened.
Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque la gente no dura rentando. Rompe el contrato por una u otra cosa y tuvimos que venirla a limpiar el día de hoy porque ya mañana se van a mover. Se las quiero enseñar. Lo raro es que dice el realtor que no dura la gente. Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque rompe el contrato a la gente. Ay, no mames. Ya es noche. Estoy sola. Chingados, está ahí. No hay nada. Esta pinche casa la han rentado un chingo de veces. Y no sé por qué rompe el contrato la gente. Ay, no, déjenme regresar, sí, porque me dio cosas aquí. ¿Te imaginas? Para que la gente rompa el contrato acá, es porque de plano no aguantan a vivir aquí. Y ahorita les voy a enseñar lo demás para allá. Déjenme prender la luz. ¿Dónde está la luz acá? Chingada madre. Ahí está. Ok, ahorita les voy a enseñar. Esta es una recámara. Se está poniendo ahorita tenso. Entonces, el señor dice que ya van varias familias que rompen el contrato.
As she walked through the empty halls, a door creaked open entirely on its own. No one was there. Trying to brush it off, she continued her work, but the atmosphere grew heavier. Approaching a dark room, she captured something chilling.
Se escucha el ruido para acá. No sé qué sea. Escuché mucho ruido. Yo creo que me voy a tener que ir.
In the corner, barely visible, was what looked like a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness. Fortunately, she was already on edge and didn't step inside. As she hurried to leave, the activity escalated. Another door slowly opened right in front of her. That was the breaking point.
No quiero apagar la luz de ella porque se está poniendo ya. Ay, no. Creo que me voy a regresar mañana mejor. Yo me voy a la chica. Esa pinche luz, la de acá la tengo que apagar.
She rushed out of the house, shaken, now understanding exactly why every tenant abandoned the property so quickly. What's up, Silent Nightmare family? I have something huge to share with you today. If we hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of September, 10 lucky subscribers will each receive a $50 gift card. You can choose any gift cards. That's $500 in total prizes as a thank you to this amazing community. It's super easy to enter. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video. Comment below with your favorite Silent Nightmare video or your scariest camping story. That's it. Let's hit 100K together and celebrate the only way we know how, with a massive giveaway. This next video comes from Kyle Anthony, who began experiencing strange activity around his home after discovering something unsettling in his attic.
I go through the contents of the box after I found the doll, and there's a journal in there, along with a bunch of little, like a marble and just some change and just a bunch of dirt and probably mouse poop and stuff. It's nasty. But the journal is weird. The journal is extremely, extremely weird. It's filled with a bunch of creepy drawings and some kind of code that's just a bunch of numbers.
It all started when he heard loud banging on the attic door. Curious, he went up to investigate and found a box filled with disturbing items, including a doll missing its eyes and a journal covered in strange drawings and cryptic numbers. Kyle shared his findings with viewers, and with their help, he managed to decode a few of the journal's pages. The messages seemed to center on the doll, Shelley, but ever since unearthing the box, the activity in his home only grew worse.
Alright, for any of y'all who don't believe that this is real, then I'm just making it up. I'm about to prove it to you. Alright. Shit. Alright. There's nothing up here. There's nothing up here. I told you.
One night, Kyle heard the attic banging again. When he checked, there was nothing there. Another time, the sounds came from downstairs, and even his cats appeared unsettled, tracking something moving through the house.
I showed y'all this journal, and he apparently decoded this page. According to him, it says something like, sewing kit, because doctor says I need a little hobby because my Shelly doll is not alive. Are you Shelly? What in the hell's going on? And look at this. Look at this. This is freaking creepy. Well, who did this? It's burnt. And what's going on? I don't even want to mess with this thing. Yesterday, I decoded the first page. I'll put that on the screen now. And now I'll put the translation. That's really weird, isn't it? It says Shelly. Second time, the journal has said Shelly, Shelly. Ring the bell. Flames of hell. What does that mean? It's happening again. I can hear it again. I know. I'll be right back. It's happening again. I can hear it. Do y'all hear it too? Is it coming from the floor? Or is it coming? I can't tell where it's coming from. I can't tell where it's coming from.
Following the noise, Kyle discovered a hidden crawl space. Inside, he came across something horrifying.
Let's go. And everybody's talking about my crawl space being weird. I don't know. That's the basement. Basement wall. I don't know what's going on. I didn't build it. And that's a can, I guess. I don't know. RC Cola. Royal Crown Cola. All right. Okay. That's what I was talking about. It wasn't no insulation when I was talking about. I was talking about that little thing there. It's like a little heart-shaped box. Oh, gosh dang. It's that thing. That's it right there. Can you just be empty? Can you just be empty?
The missing eyes of the doll. Disturbed, Kyle decided to return everything to the attic and leave it as he found it. But this time, he set up a camera to watch the box. What it captured is deeply unsettling. The box begins to vibrate and move entirely on its own, despite nothing else being in the attic. Soon after, new sounds began echoing from his basement.
Hearing a little kid laughing in the basement, and I do not have children. This is freaking me out. Yeah, you do hear it too? Go. Move. We'll try to go down there. Oh, God, let's see if we hear it. Goodness gracious. Shit. Do you hear that? Oh, my God, that's freaky. I don't have children. And I'm home alone. My fiance just went with her sister to the mall. Don't hear it anymore now. Goodness gracious.
Among them, something particularly chilling, the sound of a child's laughter.
Goodness gracious. Shit.
Kyle admits he has no idea what he's dealing with, or what should be done with the items. Until more answers surface, this mystery remains unsolved, and perhaps more dangerous than anyone realizes. It was the night of July 10th, 2014. Kay Budd was behind the wheel, driving her parents, Sharon and Randy, on a long trip from Ohio to New York City. They were excited to see a Broadway show together. Earlier in the drive, Randy had taken the wheel, but now he was resting in the back seat, while Sharon sat up front beside Kay. By the time they reached Pennsylvania, they were still hours away from their destination. But they would never make it to New York. As they approached the Gray Hill Road overpass, the unexpected happened. Something suddenly smashed through the windshield with a force so loud it sounded like an explosion. Confused and terrified, Kay pulled the car over and flicked on the interior light. What they saw changed everything. A rock, the size of a volleyball, had crashed through the glass and struck Sharon directly in the head.
Oh my gosh, something came right through the windshield. Hi, I'm on the highway, Route 80. Something just came through my windshield and it hit my wife and I think it went right through her head. Oh my God. Can you please can you get an ambulance somewhere? Can you track this phone?
Where on Interstate 80 are you?
Oh my God. She is grasping for her life.
Okay, what is your name, sir?
My name's Randy Budd.
The phone number you're calling
Oh my
from?
God. Half her brain's gone. Oh my God. Oh my.
Sharon was rushed to the hospital, where doctors performed multiple emergency surgeries. The trauma to her brain was so severe that a large portion of her skull had to be removed. Her family was told to prepare for the worst, that she likely wouldn't make it through the night. But Sharon was a fighter, a cancer survivor. She had defied the odds before, and she did it again. Her survival, however, came at an unimaginable cost. She lost sight in one eye, parts of her face were destroyed, and the missing portion of her skull had to be replaced with medical-grade plastic. Sharon was left severely disabled and would require years of rehabilitation just to relearn how to walk and speak. The mystery remained. How had a boulder ended up smashing into their car? The answer was chilling. This was no accident. On the overpass above, 4 teenagers had been vandalizing the area. One of them, Dylan, decided to take it further. He dropped the rock onto the Bud's car, changing their lives forever. Dylan and his friends were caught and charged, though their sentences were shockingly short. Dylan served just 4.5 years before being released on parole in 2019. The others received even less. Despite her unimaginable suffering, Sharon stunned everyone with her resilience and positivity.
You're strong. What keeps you so happy inside?
This guy, he takes good care of me.
With her husband Randy's constant support, she pushed through years of therapy and made a remarkable recovery against all odds. Randy never left her side, but inside he carried a pain no one could see. He fought tirelessly to prevent this from happening to others, working with State Senator Gene Yaw to pass legislation requiring protective fencing on highway overpasses. In Ohio, he succeeded. He fought to bring the same changes to Pennsylvania, but while Randy was protecting others, he was silently battling his own grief and guilt. On August 6, 2016, he made a devastating decision. Feeling crushed by what his wife had endured, Randy took his own life. Less than 3 hours before, he had sent Senator Yaw one final text: "Please get the fence issue settled." Even in his final moments, his thoughts were for others. Today, Randy's ashes remain with Sharon, who lives in an assisted care facility. Though she carries lifelong scars, Sharon is remembered for her kindness, positivity, and unbreakable will to keep going. Her story, and Randy's, stand as reminders of how fragile life can be, and how even in tragedy, the strength of the human spirit can shine through. This terrifying footage comes from a woman in France named Rosanna, someone we've featured before. She thought she had purchased her dream home, but it quickly revealed itself to be something far darker. From the very first day, the house showed its true nature, haunted. And despite her desperate attempts, Rosanna has been unable to leave. On the night of May 7th, 2025, she was startled by strange noises echoing from the children's playroom down the hall. Grabbing her phone, she began recording, only to capture what looked like a living nightmare. One by one, toys began sliding across the floor on their own, drifting in and out of the room, as if pulled by an invisible force. When she finally gathered the courage to step inside, the playroom appeared completely empty. But then, through the reflection of the window, she spotted a dark, shadowy figure looming directly behind her. When she spun around, however, there was nothing there. Rosanna insists this kind of paranormal activity happens frequently, and to this day, she remains trapped in a legal battle over the property. Until it's resolved, she's forced to stay in the house. The question is, what exactly is tormenting her? A ghost? A demonic presence? Whatever it is, the haunting continues, and the mystery is far from over. Abdullah's adventures often take him into real-life haunted places, abandoned homes, crumbling villages, and landscapes filled with unexplained noises in the dark. After hearing disturbing rumors about a ghost-infested village, he decided to pack his gear and see for himself. Once there, Abdullah called out into the silence, hoping for some kind of response. What he got was far more terrifying than anything he could have imagined.
Bismillah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Really? Allah. Bismillah.
At first, the bushes around him began to shake, debris shifting unnaturally in the stillness. Some might dismiss it as the wind, but if a breeze strong enough to move heavy wooden boards was blowing, wouldn't you hear it howling? And why did only certain bushes react, while the rest remained completely still? Then came something even worse. As Abdullah turned toward a broken-down building, the activity escalated.
أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
A shadowy figure appeared in the doorway, leaning out multiple times. All that could be made out was its dark outline, and a single glowing white light. Was it an eye, or something more sinister?
يا جماعة مو طبيعي المكان هذا. لا اله الا الله، يا ويلي، لا اله الا الله. يا ويلي، الله لا اله الا هو الحي القيوم، لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. اوف. إذا في أحد المكان يطلع.
Suddenly, the figure shifted, now appearing in the building directly behind him. It was as if the entire village had awakened and turned against him. But instead of running, Abdullah pressed forward, drawn to an old, collapsing tunnel, radiating with the strongest supernatural energy yet.
أنا أنسحب، أنا ما جيت عشان أنسحب. أبغى هذا اللي فوق. أنا ما جيت عشان أنسحب. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. لا إله إلا الله. بسم الله. اخواني اخواتي، انا اعتذر منكم، انا اعتذر منكم.
Skeptics may claim the video feels staged, but that doesn't explain the loud bangs, the slamming windows, or the objects hurled by invisible hands. Like so many paranormal encounters, Abdullah's experience leaves us with more questions than answers. A man in Italy claimed he first experimented with a Ouija board purely out of curiosity. At the start, it was nothing more than a casual pastime, one that quickly grew into a daily ritual. For weeks he was met with silence, no signs from the spirit world at all. But that silence didn't last. Eventually, something answered back. And on one particular day, what followed left him paralyzed with fear.
Chi c'è? Chi è? Chi fa casino? Chi è che si sentiva? Chi c'è?
While home alone, he began to hear faint footsteps echoing across the floorboards, slowly moving closer and closer. A sudden crash erupted from behind him, and he knew with chilling certainty that he was no longer alone. Though nothing could be seen, a heavy, oppressive presence seemed to fill the air around him. The true nightmare began 3 days later. This time, his wife was the one alone in the house. The paranormal activity escalated violently.
Chi c'è? Luce. Chi è stato? Chi ha bussato? Non sono pazza. Non sono pazza. C'è qualcuno? Chi c'è? Dove sei? Fatti vedere. Dove sei? No, dove? Da dove? La cucina, la cucina, la cucina. Cazzo. Cazzo. Qui sto sfuggendo di mano.
First came the knocking at the door. Then, moments later, glassware in the kitchen flew from the shelves and shattered against the ground. Every incident seemed to trace back to that single, fateful decision to open a Ouija board and attempt contact with the other side. What began as harmless curiosity had unleashed something sinister. And according to the family, the activity hasn't stopped. They are still searching for answers, and updates to their terrifying ordeal may follow as the haunting continues to unfold. The following footage comes from a man named Mike, who discovered an abandoned elementary school hidden deep in the woods, far removed from any other buildings. Locals whispered rumors that the place was haunted, but instead of staying away, Mike decided to investigate alone. Almost immediately after arriving, he felt as though unseen eyes were watching him. As he surveyed the grounds, he came across old student uniforms scattered on the ground, as if children had left in a hurry and never returned. Inside, the school was in decay, with vandalism marking the walls and a silence that only added to the unsettling atmosphere. Despite the growing unease, Mike pressed forward. The deeper he went, the stranger things became. On the floor, he found missing person flyers and unsettling children's drawings. One showed two figures hiding in the trees from someone below. Another depicted a tall, shadowy figure towering over them. Disturbed but determined, Mike continued his exploration. That's when things took a terrifying turn. Strange, distorted voices echoed through the halls, growing louder, closer. Startled, Mike hid in a corner, frozen as the sounds reverberated through the building. An overwhelming dread washed over him, and he debated running, but curiosity kept him moving forward. Then, at the end of a hallway, he saw them. Two tall, dark shadow figures stood facing each other. Their forms were unnatural, their presence suffocating. The distorted voices returned, this time unmistakably coming from the shadows, as if they were speaking to one another. Mike's fear took over. He bolted, climbing out through a window and fleeing into the night without looking back. To this day, he swears the figures resembled the one from the children's drawings, and he believes the kids may have been hiding from these very entities long ago. Even more chilling, Mike claims he still hears those same distorted voices haunting him, long after leaving the school behind.